Television. Wrecker of the American family. Babysitter to millions. Informer to no one. Television. Trying to destroy humanity. Creating problems, showing millions of people the death and destruction on this planet.
Did you know that the doctrine of race, sips of liquid air, and the rebuttable presumptions that do arise? Probably refuse to articulate something so dubious to your intellectual comprehension.
It's actually very simple for those of you who are technically inclined. Right here we have a certification, and this is the chief. This is the discombobulator. This is the generalizer deregulator.
We're playing the arenas this time out, but at one point in the tour, we're gonna go to stadiums, which is about like anywhere from 60 to 90,000, and then from there we're gonna go to real big gigs. Real big gigs. I'd say million-seaters.
Fucked up, man. Trying to get some filming done, and the cops wheeled it. I lost my hat, man. I'm gonna have to wield, so I'll be back.
What I'm doing right now is beefing up our intro tape. Actually, when you see us on the Freak Show tour, you may hear this. Actually, many of you may know the person who starts this intro tape out. She's been around a while.
Los Angeles, California, that is. United States of America. It's the birthplace of BulletBoys.
Basically met each other through fate.
Me and Mark and Mick were in a very stale project.
Kind of got together. We've always been jamming together and stuff.
We didn't have no money or anywhere to go, so we got together in my mom's garage and didn't quite have the puzzle put together because we hadn't found Jimmy yet. Went through people trying to find the right guy, and then when Jimmy walked in and played, I think it was a Led Zeppelin song, Misty Mountain Hop, and broke his snare drum or something, we just knew he was the cat.
I break things. That's my job. I get paid by the hour.
But it really all started happening when we met Dave Kaplan and we moved into the Piss Room, the world famous Piss Room in Vernon, and that's where we really knocked out the songs. And Ted Templeman and Roberta Peterson came down and signed the band on the spot.
We like Ted so much because he lets us be us.
Oh man, there he goes. Better get him before he goes.
Teddy, we love you.
Bye, Teddy.
Love you. Love Teddy.
I just want to show you guys, because we love our company and they work so hard for us. But I just want to show you, so far you've seen this place. But look how hard they are at work today.
Just slaving. God, slaving.
I don't know how they do it.
Oh, I know. There's international right there. This becomes interplanetary.
And then it becomes a solar system.
Yeah, beyond that, this is where your tape is.
Whoa, sorry.
All right. I think when we were discovered, it was down in
there.
Yeah, they've still never listened to it.
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier with any other players, To me, Mark's the best singer in the world, and Mick's the best guitar player in the world, and Jimmy's the best drummer in the world.
When we make a record, we're trying to capture that 3 or 4 or 5 minutes of our lives, I mean, there are people who just get the drum track and then put the bass and the guitars on 2 weeks later and do the vocals a week after that. We try to get it all in that 3 minutes, so it means something.
Oh, we play that, that real party type of rock and roll, barbecue, coldy rock and roll,
What makes BulletBoys great as a unit to me is we take, a little bit of each person, what combines to make only the sound that when everyone has their input, it becomes that sound.
So when someone presents a song, either it improves 100% with everybody's input, or it isn't done and it's reserved for someone's solo album, as we say.
Well, because if you please yourself, that everybody else there is going to like it. If we don't like it, it comes across that way.
What makes a rock and roll song for us is whether it feels like it's coming from the balls.
Bikinis, and nice suntans, and that California ass kicking, shit kicking, who gives a fuck type of music,
What's the difference between fans in Japan and fans in America?
They're over there, we're over here.
Thank you.
Could you ask us a fucking reasonable question here? Come on, pigs, what are you guys doing?
This is the best shot ever of this man.
Great picture. Really, really nice picture.
I'd marry you.
Oh, dude.
God.
We look decent.
So
I
that's
know what you're
step
saying, I
one.
just don't like that
We've got
word split.
photos picked.
Yeah.
Thunder.
One version.
Changed this, made this thicker and bigger.
Cool.
And do you have a mixed version where it goes like that?
Have you seen this book?
You know what that reminds me
This
of?
book is very old paintings of different sexual situations.
Which
See?
one's your
I
favorite?
think that's
That's a very nice position right there,
a
actually.
lot bigger.
I think maybe it needs to be red.
Mark,
So they'll be
Yes, hold on, I'll show you the photo of that.
Yeah, they'll be small.
I thought Dave was going to say to make this.
No.
Bonnie, is it the colors that bother you or the style?
That's ridiculous. I've never seen this
I
before.
don't know. Then imagine it too next to the front.
And so on and so on.
I totally agree with you, Lonnie. I think the less the better.
And this is what came out of my head.
Are you sure it didn't come out of your butthole?
Dave! Mick, who drew this picture? Can you please help me do the picture?
A guy named Dave McMacken. Because it's a freak show. That's what we see when we play, man.
This is a whole
Only the
line.
faces change.
Yeah. No, actually not even some of them, because we got a few friends of ours that are in it that we can't say, but...
Oh, yeah.
I think everyone remembers this guy.
I think
working
you remember
up
this guy,
here.
don't you?
Up here, can you zoom in on him?
Absolutely.
Not me,
I'm sure
him,
everybody knows who,
him.
I'm sure everybody knows who this is, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just basically life.
Life. Yeah.
Freak show.
Wow, this is joy.
Is it thunder though?
This is thunder.
Oh, thunder.
It's thunder. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a baby boy, it's thunder.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, Pete. We're gonna go out here. Look out for the cops. Because if the cops catch us, we have to pay $200 fine. Let's go, Mark. Come on, Pete.
Mark Torian is just probably one of the most psycho, amazing songwriters. He's an intense guy. He's really intense. When people meet him, he's like on 11. Like people think he just woke up and had like 8 cups of coffee and said, "How you doing? My name's Mark. How you doing?"
I met Mark Tureen just about 10 years ago. Me and Mark have been best friends for many years, good bros.
This is my dog, Pete. Pete, say hi.
This running is great though, man. It just, he tones everything up. And like the way I sing and shit, it's like, I gotta be able to keep it going, especially the stuff on stage. I do the leaping, the dancing, the grinding, the bumping, Hey, let's go.
Hit the ball as loud as you can. If I'm not looking good and not feeling good, our music's gonna suck. Every time I get out here, it's just like, makes me feel like about this big. Keeps my ego, and keeps it intact.
I'm glad the Bullet Pigs are coming out with a new album. It's time to fucking rock the house.
Lonnie, the Ozark Surfer. Yes. Plays bass like a fucking animal. Best bass player in the music business, I think. Hi, buddy.
Get out there and see if it's Lake Hermosa or Lake Hollywood. It's Will. The conditions today are just like suckage. Not happening flat, undertowed pulling you in so it's hard to paddle. I guess I'm just a California dude who likes to surf, hang out, play rock and roll, bellow occasional fatty, and that's about it. No brakes! Oh my God! I know a lot of people, if you're like myself, have trouble getting motivated to work out and keep in shape, but when you start out down there by those smokestacks down there in Hermosa and you ride all the way up the Palos Verdes Peninsula all the way around, and you have this gorgeous scenery as your payoff, it makes it all worth it. And we all feel it's real important to keep fit, to give the people, you know, what they want, and that's 100%, 110% out of you. Well, see, rock and roll, it ain't competition for us. We just do the best we can because there's room for everyone in rock, you know. Great music is great music. But when it comes to sports and, you know, one man against another man, or 5 men against another 5 men, or 11 men against 11 men, thank you. You know what I'm saying. Basically just a competition when it's one man challenging another. That gets me off.
You know, in the room, they still have the same tone that the album had. A lot of warmth in it. It's got a lot of feel to it. In one word, how would I describe the Dan BulletBoys to you by James? I'd say we, in one word, are love. Love, and I mean love, L-U-V. Or actually, know what it'd be? L-U-F-F, luff. That's what Mick calls it, luff. I don't know. He just one day, luff, man. I'm in luff. L-U-F-F, luff. So we're luff. L-U-F-F. Thanks, Mick. I can thank Mick for that one. Thank you.
He probably hits the drums harder than he hits people when he gets in fights. Jimmy is a very violent person.
I love Jimmy.
Very violent, but yet very much full of love.
Not too many drummers around right now that are playing really hard like he plays.
If you're playing like top 40 stuff, you can be very aggressive because it's very poppy, it's very danceable. Rock drummers, ever since I can remember, like people like Keith Moon and John Bonham, who just put the whole thing, put their whole being behind the drum set. You know, their fears, their angers, their frustrations, their love, anxieties, everything was into drums.
He just adds extra fuel to the fire because he's such a kid.
The next 5 to 6 acres, that is all mine. I own it now. I don't know if you're aware of that. So please, as you leave, don't litter like that, because I'll knock you out, okay?
You can bet if there's something going on, Jimmy D is going to be there. You know, Jimmy D, the place to be.
All Hollywood is like high school with a lot of money. That's all it is. A lot of people here don't deal with reality, which is a problem because you can get caught up in that. You know, the whole band's went through their thing. I'm sure like most people in Los Angeles have gone through a thing. Actually, there's one man alone that helps get out of it, and that'd be Dave Kaplan, our manager. This man has done things for us, you know, that I can never, ever be able to repay him, or nobody in this band can. Luckily, you know, we've all kept each other intact and, you know, make sure that we don't go off the deep end.
I consider myself in a trance when I'm playing, and I try to duplicate it here. It's not quite the same, but you know, 4 in the morning, it's certainly the best time to do it, especially here in Hollywood, because this city is bustling at all hours, except for the hours between 4 and 6.
Mulchfishneck, Mixweda, Mulchfishneck, Mixweda.
The only time I get everything completely out of my head is when I'm on stage, aside from this particular hour. Actually, it's about 2 hours between the hours of 4 a.m. and 6.
Mick has his own sound, his own variety of shots, his own way to shake a martini, you know, man.
He's really buff. There was someone that followed him around the world. We toured around the world. We showed up in Japan, she was there. We were in London, she was there. We showed up, we were in Scotland, she was there. We were in Hawaii, she was there. Everywhere we went, she was there. This one was insane. And you know why you know why?
His guitar playing is completely psychotic, psychedelic.
I don't have a lot of time for hobbies. You know, I have to do a lot of important things, you know, things like washing my cats. When you're talking about animal cleanliness, take it very seriously.
Come here, baby.
He's totally camera shy. He's not digging. Check him out, Mal.
The key to cat washing is to have this ready.
So you gotta kind of do it like that.
A little belly shit happening. What you really want to do is tear your face off. It's definitely R-rated. One more rinsey do.
My female cat. Definitely a woman. A woman for women, by women.
Uh-oh, there's a howl. You got a howl and the escape attempt. There's the escape with nowhere to go. You know, going on the road is like being
being out with just a big family, you know, and when you come off, that's not there anymore. You know, you kind of get used to having these guys around. It's kind of like your little family. You know what I think it is with cats? I think it's more that they're so embarrassed that they look like rats. I think that's what it is. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that they don't like bats. I think it has to do with how they look after. I mean, let's face it. Would you want to look like that? So anyway, you asked for it, you got it. Washing cats 101. What more do you need to know?
I mean, it takes a little more work to find, you know, the beneficial aspects of an emotional high as opposed to a chemical one, but it works a lot better in the end, I think.
Everybody who brought around and supported us and helped us, you know, around the world, we just, you know, they mean so much to us. And it's kind of unfair because a lot of times a lot of bands I know that feel this way about their fans don't get a chance to release it and say, you know, hey man, if I could sit with you in a room to let you know, hey man, how much, you know, I dig you for, you know, for digging the band and being behind us. I mean, I'd be in a room for like 3 years straight telling people.
Hi, may I speak with Jessica?
Hi.
Jessica, this is Mick from BulletBoys. How are you?
Hi.
Hi! I wanted to thank you for calling on the hotline.
Well, thank you for calling.
You're amazing, Jessica. Can I tell you a little secret?
Huh.
I had a feeling that you were going to be amazing. I had a feeling.
When you find that magic thing, you know, like, you know, obviously the great bands do, you know, you're willing to take it a little further to make it work because you realize what you got.
Always remember, easy does it out there, and up or down? It's up. See ya.
Sweet bad Bill don't fight anymore. No, he don't.
Rock the house. Is that cool? Because I'm starting to freeze my nuts off out here.